Today marks Kara and I's 17th wedding anniversary. That's pretty exciting, 17 years. And I know some of you think I don't look old enough to be married for 17 years. Some of you think I'm way beyond that. Doesn't really matter to me much. What matters is that for us, for me in particular, we were able to break what I would say is, kind of some bad family vibes, some not good marriage situations. My parents split up when I was about 2, and my mom has been, she's now on her 3rd marriage. My dad has had 2 marriages, and he's had a couple of long relationships with people that he hasn't been married with. And so it would have been really easy to just kind of give up and go through the same motions and do the exact same thing that family had been doing. But it took some big time commitments. And probably like most of you, when you get married, you never think, okay, I'm in this until something goes wrong and then I'm out. But something goes wrong and we get out. And I say this just as kind of a bonus sermon. This isn't even where we're going, but this is just bonus information. And some of the things that I tell couples as they get their marriage life going is this. We call them the 4 C's, and we'll probably do a whole series on them like this coming February. Number 1 is put Christ first. If you want a long-standing marriage, put Christ first. Whenever I first was working on this concept to preach a message, I asked Kara, I said, what would you say is the number 1 thing that is the key to our long-lasting marriage if you don't say Jesus? So she began thinking on this, and it didn't take her long before she looked back at me and she said, I can't. Like, Jesus changes everything. It changes the way that you communicate, it changes the way that you prioritize, it changes every single aspect of your life, the way that you reconcile your relationships, the way that you raise your kids. And I want to tell you guys, as the church, and I know that there are people from all walks of life, all states of marriage. You haven't been married yet, you've been married for years. You've been married multiple times. You're recovering from a bad marriage. All of the struggles that are taking place, put Christ first. It changes everything. And that doesn't mean just put enough Jesus to make you comfortable. That means give Him control. And number 2 is commitment. I oftentimes tell couples, today is the day that you decide how long your marriage is going to last. And if you can say from the very beginning, right now, my marriage is for death, do us part, then what you're going to find through that is that whenever you realize that you're attached, that you're together, that you're going to have to try to figure out how to make it work. Okay, and that's an important piece. If you realize that that person is going to be there no matter how ticked off, no matter how bad, no matter how wrong, no matter how insecure, that you're going to have to find a way to get through it together, it's going to change your perspective and your outlook on that relationship. Not that everything's going to be great. It's not going to be perfect. I guarantee you, 17 years of marriage, it's not always going to be great. It's not always going to be perfect. But if you can commit till death do us part, it's going to change your marriage tremendously. Number 3 is communication. However your communication in your relationship goes, that's how your marriage is going to go. If you talk good, if you talk well of one another, you're going to have a pretty good marriage. If you don't talk, if you're always fighting, if you're always arguing, that's how your marriage is going to be. Your marriage is going to stink because you stink at communication. And the 4th piece is conflict resolution. This is so important that we figure out how to resolve conflict in any relationship, especially somebody that you're tied to till death do us part. But when you realize that Jesus died and He gave Himself up for you, and His grace is significantly beyond anything that you could ask or imagine or possibly earn, it changes the way that you are gracious and impact the life of another person. And you can say, you know what, I am an idiot. I screwed up, but I want us to work out. It's 4 C's I think will drastically improve any marriage. And it's crazy. Last year, I turned 36. My wife and I both turned 36. We started dating when we were 18. Last year, we were together as long as we had been apart. And this year, we are together longer than we have ever been apart. And I would have never thought that, not that the marriage wouldn't last, but that I would be at a point in my life where I'm standing up with a 17-year marriage that's probably more long-standing than many, many people get to experience. And I can tell you honestly, without a doubt, it's better today than it's ever been. Because we put Christ first. And we were committed to each other. We still are. We strive to communicate. and we try to resolve our conflict as best as we can.